Brothers and sisters, it is my special joy and privilege to welcome you all to the Second Pan-African Catholic Congress on Theology, Society, and Pastoral Life. This is one unique moment for Africa and the world church. For the first time since the pandemic, we are gathering face to face. Over 70 delegates from outside Africa, from India, from Philippines, from Chile, from Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, coming to Africa to meet over 130 African change makers, people who are filled with faith, who believe in a better possible world, a better possible church, a better possible Africa. Men and women, young and old, who are scholars, who are church leaders, who are everyday Catholics on the front lines, who believe in the renewal and reform agenda of Pope Francis, the marks of the wounds of our brothers and sisters, those who are beaten down, those who are abandoned, those who are rejected. These are people who say to the darkness, who beg to differ. So we gather for an African palaver. In the palaver, everyone counts. Every issue counts. Every reality counts. History, the past, the present, and the future count. Indeed, the palaver invites us, like our ancestors did, to the village square, that capacious space where everyone is a firstborn child of God, where everyone's voice must be heard, where we are not in a hurry because we want to listen, we want to discern, and then we want to take decisions that carries everyone's needs. We hear the cries of creation. We hear the cries of Africa. We hear the cries of African Americans, blacks throughout the world, crying in the church against racism, in the world against racism, exclusionary practices, the stigmatization of our people, the contamination of our history. But we are not just victims who are crying wolves. We are writing our own history. We are making our own pathway with God. And so the palaver is also a space to think of justice, but also a space to lament, but not to lament throwing our hands up in the air, but to lament that transforms, a lament that transforms our tears into action. Because the future of Africa and the black race lies in our hands. That future is being written by the men and women you see gathering in Nairobi. These are men and women who bear the marks of the battlefield. They have their boots on the ground. They are like Jesus, who came to take the second place so that others would take the first place. We are also willing to make that self-sacrificing love, make the effort to write a new history. As we come through this pandemic and as we see the groans of creation, and as we continue to see the wars, the lies, the injustice, the systems and institutions of modernity that continues to eviscerate our people, that continues to damage the dreams of so many. Sometimes we, church leaders, we have failed our people because we have sided with powers and principalities, and we have become complicit in the contradictions that hold our people in chains. We come to look for new sights. We want to hear again the cries of our people. And we want to cry with our people, but we want to look up with hope to the surprises of God in the continent of Africa. Like Pope Francis said when he visited Africa in 2015, he says, Africa surprises me. Why? Because there is something magical about this land. That magic is the character of the black race, is the soul of the black race. That's why creation emerged from this land. And our prayer is that during this Congress, a new creation will emerge from our conversation. A new history will be written from our conversation. For we must become the hope of our people, the change we want to see, and we must become the architects of a new future. And we do this because in Africa, the heart of everything is God. God is with us. And may God, through the Holy Spirit, lead us to see our way through in this complex and complicated world. May we see the light beyond the shadows.